have to say, your relationship disposition is honestly shocking to me.
Relationship disposition.
Okay.
Talk to me like I'm from Atlanta.
All right. Bro, the way you talk about marriage, about your reluctance in wanting to get married, is really surprising to me, given that I know, your parents been married forever. And I know the stock you come from. And so help me understand the perspective is like, why at every opportunity are you talking about how much you do not ever want to get married? You got all these beautiful babies.
Love them.
You ain't got no ring on your finger.
Typically, I have a pinky ring.
Yeah, but you ain't got one of these. Make it make sense. What is going on here, Cam?
Now, I will hold you to the same question that I asked the individual last night.
Okay.
Did I say that? Did I say I don't want to ever get married?
Okay, not ever.
I don't believe in marriage?
You didn't say that. Okay. I didn't say that you said you didn't believe in marriage.
My deposition of marriage.
Yes, but it does feel like.
Okay. Feel like you come off as, and that is an important phrasing in this, right? Thank you.
You did not, I've never heard you say you don't believe in marriage.
Thank you.
Never heard that you say that. However.
That is an important phrase to insert.
Yes. Okay. You are very marriage averse, it seems like.
I will say it this way. My values and standards of marriage have been skewed because of my experiences that I've witnessed and been through.
Okay. Even though the best example is one you grew up with.
And I'm glad we taking it there. But even with that example, his and hers, no pun intended, experience is completely different than my experience. And that's not the reason to say no. I understand that. Because that is still the most influential man in my life. I still honor my mother for who she is. I still hold their vows sacred. But what I've been through and what I've witnessed, that was a unicorn. Because they were true. What I witnessed is, bro, you married? Yeah, but not tonight. Man, baby, you married? Yeah, but what he got to know for? What? That's what we do. This is what this is? But I just seen y'all post. You worried about the wrong thing, Smokey. It's these experiences that you have and you say, oh, this is a facade. That ain't what their vows were. Even a step further, I said that I was the only one that went to a PWI in my family. I'm the only one not married in my family. My younger brother is married. My older brother is married. My mother and father are still married. It's unfortunate that my experiences have scarred my heart. It's trust. It's like, yo, I said this publicly. My desire to get married is not greater than my fear of divorce. My fear of divorce is something that I've seen good guys get taken advantage of. But this is also the truth. I've seen good girls get taken advantage of too. What Jay-Z say? Good girl turn bad. When you lose a good girl, she's lost forever. I seen that. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, I hate that that's my reality. And I'm not bleeding on somebody else. It's just a work in progress.
So that being your reality, what would you say, like keeping it funky, what would you say is your role in that?
Oh, I take full accountability of everything that I've experienced.
Because the one thing, listen, I can, having been in your world a little bit, not in your specific world, but just the world of professional athletes, is the company of women you guys are often around are very obvious about their intentions. And so part of the reason you experience probably what you have is based off who has been in your orbit, right? And those are very conscious choices
Yeah.
that you're making in dealing with a certain type of woman. And so it feels like you're giving a lot of power to other people to determine how you feel.
Okay, so, and I'm not trying to be confrontational, but given the circumstance of the type of woman that we are around, where are we supposed to go find good women at? And I'm having this conversation being in a relationship.
Right.
But I'm speaking for the
Yeah, I know
masses
what you mean.
of the athlete. It's
Correct.
like, yo, where are we supposed to find these women?
Okay.
At the grocery store? At church? We work on Sundays.
Here's the thing,
see what
though,
I'm saying?
because y'all all go for this, okay? It's like
It start with that, though.
It start with that.
So you
I
can't-
get it.
you
It start
can't-
there, but it start there for everybody.
You can't bypass the assets.
Oh, I understand that.
We really start from the bottom, but
Listen, I have made it very clear. Like when I met my husband at homecoming, right? We both went to Michigan State. He's a few years younger, so we didn't go at the same time, right? And when I was talking to a mutual friend, we didn't realize was a mutual friend because we didn't know each other, but I was friends with one of his boys, and he didn't know this. He came up and started talking to both of us. First thing I noticed, I was like, oh, he fine as fuck. First thing I noticed, right?
so there was an attraction.
So there was an attraction
Yeah.
right off rip. I was like, oh, okay. Well, what's all this? What's this talking about over
Who
here?
that is?
Right? However, that being said, after a couple of conversations, he didn't even get my number then. He didn't get my number until later on we were at the same party. And I was like, there's the finest fuck man again. Like, how is this possible? I've never seen this man before. It was like my third or fourth homecoming that I had gone to. And anyway, it was very clear that in a first couple conversation that he was built different, right? And so what I say to you all is that what I have noticed in seeing the dating habits of professional athletes is that the things that you focus on that you value are not actually a lot of times the things that you really should be focused on. Like I've heard many of you all say, and been in company with some of you and talking about relationships, like, oh, I don't care where she works. I don't care about her career. I was like, you should care, because that means she has to be disciplined enough to have done something and to have achieved something. And so you all kind of dismiss that out the gate, like, I don't really care what she does for a living. No, that matters. You know that if she's a doctor, she had to be disciplined enough to go to medical school, and so you know she ain't about the bullshit. And so many of you guys engage in relationships with women who are very clearly about the bullshit.
Okay.
And you can find women in, like, hell, you could be walking down the street and find them, but I find that your search history is usually bad. And that is what leads to you
Let me ask you this.
making these choices.
Are your parents still together?
Nope.
Was his parents still together?
No, his parents never married. They were engaged,
Right.
but they never married. My mother, she lost her husband last year, and they had been married for, I think, 30 years or whatever. That was, but that was her second marriage, right? And I had this joke. My grandmother and great aunt didn't appreciate it, but between my grandmother, my great aunt, and my mom, they had been married 8 times. And I was like, ooh, y'all got to get it together. And one of the cycles I know I wanted to break was actually having a healthy, good marriage. Even though marriage was not like necessarily on my menu, it happened very surprisingly, just, when me and my husband got together, but neither one of us were looking for a relationship, and then love showed up. It's how it works sometimes. But I say that to say is that, like, I think marriage can be amazing. It can be incredible. And if I were you, I just wouldn't let the bad experiences that you've had talk you out of something that could be really great for you.
Listen.
And I understand you got a lot to lose. I get it.
Yeah.
Because you done made a lot of money and you're thinking about, like, hey, if this goes south, half my shit might be gone.
No,
or
semi. But I think...
Though I think you would probably have a prenup. But anyway.
Yes. But one of the things that you said is marriage preservation, or, in essence, fighting for something. You wanted to break the cycle. That's what it was. for him, right, it takes two individuals to be aligned on that, right? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I wasn't the common denominator or was the sole proprietor of being on BS, because I was. I was a first in my family for a lot of things. We've already had mentioned some of them.
So do you think you let some good women go?
I know I did.
See, you fumble some.
A lot of them.
Right.
And God's humor is meeting the right person at the wrong time. And as I look back and I say to myself, I'm like, dang, she was a good girl. And now, me being in a state of mind that I am now, I'm trying to make my wrongs right, but also take the right precautions. I think I found my person, but the truth is, it still comes with the understanding that I have 3 women that I'm responsible for, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
I've procreated with. Whether they're married, they're not married, they're in a relationship, they're not. I don't have no sexual diction. Like, I don't have no jurisdiction of that. But if something were to happen to them, that's my responsibility. I say all that to say, it's oftentimes, especially in our culture, that I only know about or care about, right? It can get weaponized sometimes. Boy, you ain't got married yet? What you waiting on? Keep having all these kids? And it just happens that way. I want to be, without a shadow of a doubt, completely ready and know that the person that I'm with gonna fight for me like I'm gonna fight for them.
You feel like you're ready?
I don't think you will ever be ready.
Really? Well, I guess, what's your bar for being ready?
It's the feeling for me. It's not the title.
Okay.
And I think that's what people lose sight of. It's like the feeling. Being married is cool, but now this is the question that I ask married people. Are you happily married?
Happily.
That wasn't a question.
I know. I just want to put it out there.
For sure.
Happily.
But when you ask a person, it's like,
Yeah. Because I know a lot of people who are married be the first ones to talk you out of it. They'll be like, don't get married, dog. Don't do it.
Come on.
And I hate that has become such a narrative. Listen, people would like to say marriage is hard. I say marriage is work. Work is different than hard, right? Like, it shouldn't be hard, technically, right? But you do have to work at it. You have to work at it because marriage is a reflection. Like, there are things that I've learned about myself being married. We've been married now 6 years that I didn't even know were faults that I had, were defense mechanisms that I had. Like, I didn't know none of this shit. And then it showed up because I had somebody who was holding me accountable.
For sure.
And I think that's the part that scares a lot of people about marriage, is like, they don't want that accountability in their lives. Constant. You live with the accountability, right? And they don't want that. And what I would say is, like, I think the reason sometimes that when married people tell you that is because they are more focused on the hard part and not the rewarding part. The rewarding part is that you get the opportunity to build a life with somebody. You get an opportunity in this crazy shitstorm of a world to go through it with somebody else. And so, yeah, this idea of ready is like, as long as you are ready to commit, as long as you are ready to fight, as long as you know that you're gonna be 10 toes down, you're ready.
Can I ask you a question? Do you guys have any kids together?
We do not.
Does he have any kids?
Nope. So you think that's why I like marriage, because we don't have kids? Is that where you're going with this?
No, it ain't that.
Okay.
It's not that. I think everybody's situation and circumstance is completely different.
Yes.
To be in a relationship with a person and not lead with my baggage would be almost a deficit to our relationship. Because it takes a hell of a woman to accept me and everything that I come with. But it's no denying that. I can't just say, yo, baby, like, I'm Cam Newton, Heisman Trophy winner, first round pick. Like, yo, I got shows on First Take, ESPN, BET. Man, I have some would say a good Funky Friday show, a fourth and like all these different things. But the reality is I got 9 kids. I got 3 baby mamas. And I'm gonna lead with that instead of just trying, like, I can't leave them because they coming with me too.
That's part of the package.
So for you and your situation, it was just y'all too. Mm-hmm. And for my situation or the person that I'm with, she had to understand that. And I am so grateful that she gave me grace. And even for the mother of my children, they even give me grace because I had to have the caution to say, hey, I'm dating somebody and I want them to meet the kids. I went to the baby mothers first out of respect because this person that I'm with, it's going to kind of be hard for me to be in a relationship with them and them not be around the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sitting up here saying that y'all need to be patty cake and having a whole little family under one. No, I'm not saying that, but you need to know. Yeah. And I hope you will give me the decency to at least have some type of say so if you have any issue with it and voice it with me what the issue is. So when I say different situations and circumstances, that's my circumstance.
No, let me be clear though, Cam. Before I met my husband, I was in a very long relationship with a man who had 2 children. Okay. Right? And he had been, he was divorced. Mm-hmm. He had an ex-wife and a baby mama, mm-hmm. right? And he had multiple children. And the reality is like that is, but I knew that going in. Like it wasn't no secret, you know what I'm saying? So when I chose to be in a relationship with that person, mm-hmm. I knew everything I was choosing. For sure. You know? And so it does require somebody, especially coming into the relationship without kids, yeah. It does require you to understand and be sensitive and have a lot of grace for those dynamics. Yes. So the woman that ultimately, you know, that you choose or have chosen is going to have to deal with all of that.
And it's vice versa too.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. Because there are women who have children prior to starting a relationship. Mm-hmm. And men decide to say, that ain't my child. But bro, you're gonna be in that person's life. Whether you wanna agree with it or not, they're gonna look to you in some way, shape, form. They're gonna learn something from you that it's going to impact them positively or negatively, respectfully, if that's the person that you really want to be with and the time that's spent that they will see. And I'm not saying all those type of things to distract or defer. What I'm saying is Cinderella's shoe was built for Cinderella. A lot of people's notion of marriage is off of their ideology mm-hmm. of what marriage should look like. Even though this is this different commodity that you were speaking of, you still got to be you. Now, I will admit to say I've been scarred in relationships. I've been scarred into situations looking at like, oh, this what? No, what? For real? This what you do on Fridays after Fast Friday? Dang, I didn't know. I was so naive. I'm Pentecostal church. Everybody say, like that. I come from that. So now seeing it through this lens of the world, it doesn't give me a pass. It's just like, hold on, Pop. Man, dog, like for Sundays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we was giving thanks to God. Well, now after we win on Sundays, the celebration is a little different. Everybody know who you are. I don't drink. I drink liquor. I partake in wine, so people say, oh, that's alcohol. I don't do a lot of things because I want to make sure that I'm sharp mentally. But the vultures are still out there. The spirits is still out there, and they looking at you to say like my mom would always say, it's more people that see you than you see them.
Oh, absolutely.
And they coming for
Absolutely.
You. So it's easy for you, and I'm using this as figurative speaking, it's easy for you to say, oh, that's easy, you just gotta have discipline. But that's where it's like you got to understand what it's like from my life and my lens. It's tough. I don't know if a person genuinely loves me. I heard Shaquille O'Neal say that. I don't know if I've ever known true love. And when you start to think about it, it's like, dang, have I? Do you love me for me, or do you love me because of what I can do for you? And unfortunately, a lot of people that sit and feel how I feel finds out the hard way. So, do I believe in marriage? Hell yeah, I do. Do I want to get married? Hell yeah. But that still doesn't erase the fact that my fear of divorce, when you do talk to former athletes or current athletes and you start to say like, yo, man, what's up with you and your... Nah, bro, she got me. I said, golly, like for what? Man, you know, I had to get an apartment. What? Like when you start seeing these horror stories, it's only natural for you to just be like, dang, dog. Dang, but y'all was the goals. Y'all was the ones that I was, you know what I'm saying, admiring, not worshiping. It was just, I like y'all, man. Y'all was at the pregame, giving each other kids, taking the family pictures. You sending me the postcard. Hey, happy holidays from the blase blahs. Like, dang, but now all of a sudden it's like, that was a has-been. And to not think about those things and it cannot be you, you'll be a fool for that.
No, you definitely have to go into it super aware, as you are. And it's tough for pro athletes because you live in the real world, but your world is not always reality.
That's, ooh, yeah.
You know, and that's because you are in a atmosphere where you have people with a lot of money. Yeah. You have, as you said, like, man, it's hundreds of women throwing themselves at you all the time. Right. And so, yeah, it leads to a certain level of cynicism and pessimism where, I've had these conversations with players, you know, and I told them, I was like, I feel so bad for you because your world is so transactional. Mm-hmm. And even your relationship with women is very transactional. It's like the women in your life, like you don't just have a woman that's, most athletes, unless, you know, not counting your parents or your mom or people you're related to, but most athletes, when you think about what your relationships are with the women in your life, it's extremely transactional.
For sure.
Like you don't just have women that you hang out with or that you know that are just like there because they like you. Yeah. Right? That has nothing to do with y'all being romantic, any of those things. Them wanting something from you.
It always start, or some start like this. It starts off as, I really love you. I really care about you. In some way, you get used to a lifestyle that you will start to realize, well, if I'm not with you, I can't have that. So therefore, I at least want some of that lifestyle, and I don't want you.
Right.
So therefore, it's going to come at your expense. So to say that everybody's coming at you with a transactional approach, no. But you can get used to a lifestyle while with a person.
Right.
And then reality sets in and you start to say, hey, if I'm not with this person, that means I don't get this lifestyle. So therefore, I have to get what I deem is rightfully mine. And that's where it gets real scary.
Well, you have to trust yourself though, Cam. It's like you have to trust that you picked a good person. You have to trust that and realize that all those fears that you have about, my fear of divorce is this high versus me wanting to get married. Yep. It's like you in some ways you have to stop letting the bad examples set your course. It's like, because it's going to be bad. Like, listen, as a woman, you know how often we hear that men just going to fucking cheat on us and we just got to deal with it? Mm-hmm. We hear this all the time, mm-hmm. right? But in every relationship...
Women cheat too?
Oh, women cheat too, okay. 1,000%. But we hear it a lot, obviously. Yep. And that we have been conditioned that, like, it's just something you just going to have to put up with. Yep. If I let the narrative of that control my dating and control my ability to trust the person I'm with, and I'm not just talking about my husband, it's like every relationship I've had, Like, I ain't going through your phone. I'm not doing none of that shit. That's too much work. Like, I feel like if you cheat on me, it will be revealed in time, right? I'm not doing any of that. But what I will say is that if you let those narratives control your decision making, it's a difference between awareness and then allowing those other narratives to alter your decisions. It's like, yeah, bad people exist. Yeah, people are in shitty marriages. Yes, people cheat. Yes, sometimes people get taken advantage of. But I've always had a really hard time letting the decisions of others impact what I do.
Can I throw a wrench in there? Or just give another thought process? What if you just don't want to?
That's fair. Now, that's different. You might just be like, you know what? It's not my vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain people, like when everybody always asks me these of questions. And I'm like, yo, I'm good with it. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that, yo.
You like the way your life is.
I love the way my life is. And I got her.
Right.
She knows that because she's seen my interactions with the women that I'm not even with.
Right.
I believe in fairness. I believe in honesty.
But do you feel like your partner are y'all aligned in that?
Listen, and this is where private conversations impact public opinion. Because I wouldn't be having this conversation if
you weren't aligned.
And there's been times that even on this platform, I misspoke because I didn't check with her. But the fact that we are good gives me comfort in knowing that everybody wants to voice their opinion about marriage. And it's one of those things that, hey, she has her own. She does an amazing job with how she collects coin, how she goes about her family and certain things, but it's just certain things for me, we can weaponize what our opinion is for how we expect certain things to be. And it's okay to be able to say like, hey dog, if that ain't what you want, that ain't what you want. Cool, let's move on. Boom. Because if we were talking about ESPN personality and they'll say, hey Cam, why don't you talk like Stephen A. Smith? You just said, and I agree with you, we need you to act like you. So you have your own way of thinking. You have your own way of going about things. And even though you may not agree with it, it may like, hey, I never heard sports like that, but I'm intrigued. What else you got? It also goes for life. It's like, yo, here's a person who may have been impacted off the things that he's experienced. Is he in a relationship? Yes. Is he happy? Hell yes. Does he have plans for further extending his relationship? Yes. Will that take time? Yes. But we all have to agree that it's going to be on us when we're ready, not just when I'm ready. Because even if I do get on my knee, somebody still has to say yes. So it takes...
Now, you know that woman will say yes, right?
I'm pretty sure, but see, that was...
Come on, Cam. You know, really, bro?
For sure.
You know she would.
I know.
Right.
And I would too.
Okay.
And I want everybody to understand, even though it would be, or you would hear the I do without question, that doesn't mean that you should do. Because I know I gotta still do some work on myself.
Okay.
And she has to do some work on herself. And you said, and I would agree, that a relationship is work.
Yeah.
We're willing to work
to get there. Okay, I can appreciate that.
You see what I'm saying?
I can appreciate that.
I think like, man, you don't know how many times, and I've been trying to mend this relationship with my sisters and my beautiful black queens, and I try to take every single time. Man, what I do, how I get left out the doggone black girl group chat and y'all keep stomping on my name and y'all been Cam, here you go, what he got to say now. I love y'all.
Well, Cam, it comes from, and we discussed this earlier, it comes from a place of love.
I know.
And you know what it is, and listen, I think it's fair to say that when some Black women comment on you, they bring in their own baggage to the table. And you know this, right? It's a sensitive issue in our community because of the rate of Black single mothers that are in a community. And the way that Black single mothers are often demonized so much that there are Black women in our existence where we just don't feel valued and chosen by Black men. And so when they see you, you have these wonderful babies, you have these baby mamas, you're in a relationship. Some people are gonna look at you, some Black women, and say, damn, he couldn't choose one of us?
Yeah.
Like, one of them,
Yeah.
And it's sort of, so that's, unintentionally, you don't mean it, and we know you're just living your life, but you're picking at a scab. You're picking, and you don't mean to. It's not that, but it's like, that's what keeps coming up. That's why Black women are on your head sometimes, is because you're picking at a scab.
I was having this conversation with a trusted source that's not a family member. And I was like, yo, I just hope that my relationship with Black women could be better. Not face to face, because every time, y'all know I'm pro-Black. There are certain people that if Cam switch on the Black community, boy, we gonna castrate him cause you one of us. Right. I understand that.
Right.
She said, Cam, you know how Black women treat you? You that toxic brother.
Not toxic.
We can't stand you. We love the hell out you.
Yeah.
But we getting tired of putting our brother on our friends. No, stay away. Boy, you don't got nothing good in you. It's like, dang, how do I transition?
You're like, how do I get out of it?
How do I get out? I don't want to be that toxic brother no more.
Or as me and my friends call it, a problematic phase.
A problematic phase.
You a problematic phase.
I love
we love you. We just, it's because we want so much for you. Okay?